bakit ba continuous yung hindi nauubos, di ba? In spite of the seriousness and the aggressive campaign against illegal drugs, there seems to be a lot of supplies and nagmumultiply pa. So anyway, that's the ano of the PNP, no? What about sa PDEA? Do you share the same experience?
I only took assumed the position in November 19, Mr. Chairman, and I had the chance of talking to some informants or assets that we call, especially during the time that PNP had problems with their PDEA. There were agents offering to give us, ang terms nila, trabaho eh. Bibigyan kami ng trabaho. So, I personally sat down with some of them. Ang sistema, sir, I do not have to spend anything. They will do all the work, but they are asking 30% of the actual seizures as their payment. So, I outrightly told them that as far as my administration is concerned, we are only to give them the monetary value through our reward system.
Okay.
That is my experience here. So until this moment, I tell our agents in PDEA, if there are offers for operations to be launched or initiated, we will only give them the monetary value of their actions. No, I do not allow the seizure or the payment of drugs as their as the payment for their efforts, Your Honor.
Yun ang ano, I think that's a revealing statement, DG Lazo, no? The assets who give information to PDEA and PNP are rewarded through your reward system based on the number of kilos that are apprehended. Tama po ba yun? Okay. But there's another scheme. Apparently, the scheme is the assets, yung mga informers, no, nagbibigay ng trabaho. Is that, am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Nagbibigay ng trabaho, ng information with the condition na yung kanilang mahuhuli ay 30% nun ay ibabalik dun sa asset as his reward. Did I correctly understand the information?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So yan, that's a very serious drug problem. If you have 1 kilo apprehended, 30% goes back to the street. Yung asset kasi, mayroon siyang link with the users and the drug lords. Eh. So kaya pala paulit-ulit, no? Balik-balik yung droga sa kalsada o yung illegal substance sa kalsada.
You mentioned, sir, about the reward system. How long has this been happening? The reward system, whether it is cash or the 30% share from the confiscated drugs, how long has this been part of the system of the PDEA?
Your Honors,
2002 yung private eye.
the reward system of PDEA started in 2002 when the PDEA was created. Of course, adjustments were made as to the amount, ma'am. Your Honor is concerned. So right now we can only give a maximum of 2 million ceiling reward, regardless of, let's say, Daisy's 1 ton versus 500 kilos.
Maximum is 2 million.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Your Honor. But we also, aside from this reward system for the informants, we also have a reward system for the law enforcers that are involved in the operation. So, bale dalawang klase po. May para puro talaga sa asset and para dun sa mga government agencies, law enforcement agencies na involved dun sa project na yan. So that's so far, ma'am, that Your Honor, sorry, that's the maximum that we can give to 2M.
Okay. Again, no, yung 30% na scheme na commission ng mga assets, no, I guess it would require an inquiry, motu proprio, by this committee to investigate, no, and validate all this information shared with the chair and with the members of the committee. Is there any motion?
Mr. Chair, I respectfully move that we conduct an inquiry motu proprio on the reward system being practiced by the PDEA. But I have a follow-up question, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
May we know if the PNP practice this reward system as well?
Sir, Your Honor, ma'am, I can only talk about what we have experienced in PDEG. During big operation, we submitted our accomplishment to claim this reward, sir. I think it's being controlled by the DDB and it passes through PDEA, sir. So sa PNP, wala po kaming sariling reward system. And we are submitting our accomplishment asking for this reward to these agencies po, Your Honor, sirs. Ma'am.
Okay, thank you, General, Colonel. So there is a motion, duly seconded.
I second.
And if I may, with due respect to the movant, may I amend the motion that being forwarded to this chair, that an inquiry in aid of legislation, motu proprio, be conducted in the alleged recycling, and reward, as well as it's going to be subject to style, but the motion and the alleged commission being rewarded to certain intel or assets of the PNP and PDEA. So ito napaka-serious na allegation kasi nga kaya hindi matapos-tapos siguro yung recycling. It's because the assets who give information to drug lords, to information to arrest drug lords and sellers are being rewarded not of monetary value but of items that are seized or apprehended. Ito yung shabu. So ang nire-reward sa kanila 30% na shabu binabalik. So of course the assets will now sell it back to the streets. So there's really a need to investigate this said issue.
Mr. Chair, may we know from PDEA what is your basis for adopting this reward system? Do you have some issuances perhaps from PNP or from government agencies that allow PDEA really to implement and practice this reward system? Of course, I understand it is very hard to encourage people to give information about drug operation, and perhaps this is one of your consideration why you come up with this. But considering the various complications of this reward system, like what Kong Gato said, it can be negotiated through some personnel lower than the level of our director. We'll never know. But may we know what is your basis, your legal basis in coming up with this reward system?
Your Honor, may I call your attention to Section 22 of RA 9165, which is the grant of compensation, reward, and award. It states that the board shall recommend to the concerned government agency the grant of compensation, reward, and award to any person providing information and to law enforcers participating in the operation which results in the successful confiscation, seizure, or surrender of dangerous drugs, plant sources of dangerous drugs, and controlled precursors and essential chemicals, from which there is a yes, and because of this provision, there is a DDB regulation to office, which of course the operation private eye and also the operation lawmen. Dun po galing yung aming mga legal basis for the reward system.
But of course, the law, Mr. Chair, does not provide for a share in the form of dangerous
Yes,
drugs.
Yes, of course.
The provision of RA 9165 speaks only about compensation, but it does not specify in what form the same will be given. The bracket or schedule of reward to be given depends on the tonnage or kilograms being confiscated. Is that correct? And you were the one who prepared and approved the guidelines to implement the same.
It's the dangerous drugs board. It's a DDB
DDB.
regulation.